Today we're going to talk about another Frisbee game that you guys can play at home. There's two different ways to play. You can play this game outside if you have some room in your backyard, and you can also play it indoors. So we're going to talk about both. Here's what you need. You need to have some sort of a target. I'm going to use a laundry basket. You need a Frisbee. If you don't have a Frisbee, you can check out our video on how to make your own. And then you're going to need something to use as a starting spot or a tee. I'm going to use a pizza spot here. You can use a paper plate. You could use a cone or a water bottle or anything you really that's going to lay down on the ground. Here's how you play. You have a pad that you're going to start, a starting spot, and you've got to set up your target somewhere out in your yard. All right. Now I just have a blank field behind me, so I'm just going to put it pretty far away from me out in the field. But if you have obstacles to put it behind, that might be cool too, like a playground set or maybe a campfire pit or something. You could put it on the opposite side of. I'm going to run out and I'm going to set up my target, and then I'll show you how to play. Okay, so my target is all the way on the other side of the field there, and now I'm going to make sure that my spot is set up in a spot where I can tee off and give it a nice long throw. My goal is to try to get this Frisbee into that in as few shots as possible. So this is one of the games where the lowest score possible is the best score possible. All right, so if I got it in one throw, that would be excellent. But I'm going to try for maybe 4 or less. All right. Now, when you're throwing a Frisbee for distance, you still want to do everything the same. You still want to point the Frisbee at the target, keep it flat with the thumb on top. You're still going to bring it across your body, but to give it a little bit more distance, you might add a little side step before you toss it. So it'd be out, together, out, throw. All right? So I'll start on my tee pad right here, and we'll give it a shot. Okay, that one, it took me 3 tries to get it in, so my score would be 3. Now, on the next hole, I would take that basket and I would set it somewhere else in my yard. All right, guys, let's talk about how we can play this inside. If you don't have a lot of room in your backyard, or it just happens to be bad weather day, you can play this indoors too. The main difference is that you are not going to use a hard plastic Frisbee, because people you live with are not going to want you breaking things in their house. Make sure that you ask an adult what room would be best to play in. Probably some sort of a playroom or a basement would be best, but please check with mom or dad before you do that. Instead of the plastic Frisbee, we're going to use either your paper plate Frisbee that you might have made. You can use this. This is safe to play within the house as long as you're not throwing around TVs or electronics or in the kitchen or anything. And then the other thing you could use if you don't want to make one of these Frisbees, if you just want to play a quick game, you can use a baseball cap, because baseball caps fly very similar to a Frisbee if you're throwing them for short distances. All right, here's how we play indoors. Same idea as outside. You're going to want some sort of a tee pad. Okay, I'm going to use the same tee pad that I used outside. That's your starting point, okay, where you're going to tee off from. And you need a goal. I'm going to use this laundry basket just the same way we did outside. The nice thing about the indoor Frisbee golf is that you can make obstacles with the things that are in your house. So if you want to hide it behind a couch or a chair, it might make it a little bit more difficult and a little more challenging and fun to play. So I'm going to hide this one out behind this stool here, just to make it a little bit harder. Okay, we'll show you. So that one was 3. You can set up as many holes as you want, and you keep adding your score. So if I got a 3 there, and the next hole was a 2, my total score would be 5. You can do 5 or 10 holes. It's really up to you. Please share with us how you did, what your score was, or what some of the obstacles were. You can share with just a text, or a photo, or with your voice. Good luck, guys.